Westboro Baptist Church. You and I are going to be the best of friends.
Fuck you all!
So, Westboro, you think you've got it all figured out. You think that you are completing the Word of God and everything that He depicts. Well, let's have a little breakdown of your system, will we? Let's start with the founder of your little cult and the leader for your little group therapy sessions, Fred Phelps. His mother died of cancer, and I've researched all this, so this is true. His mother died of cancer, and his daughter, Shirley Phelps, or Shirley Phelps Roper as she's referred to, is wearing a headband in one of the protests that reads, "Thank God for breast cancer." Now, I do believe this is in breach of the 5th commandment, because if Fred Phelps truly honoured his mother, then he wouldn't allow his daughter to wear a headband like that when his mother died of cancer. So, it being with the 5th commandment, that means that if you break it, you are meant to go to hell. So, and they view adultery, which is in the 10 commandments, with homosexuality. I know it isn't, but they seem to think it is, or at least Shirley does in one of her interviews. She says that homosexuality is linked with adultery, so it's in the 10 commandments and therefore you go to hell. So that means that her wearing this puts Fred Phelps to hell, because it's on the same level, it's in the 10 commandments. So yeah, good system, guys. Secondly, one of the main features and one of the main themes that they seem to have going on is American soldiers, dead soldiers, and they've got you've got these banners that say "Thank God for dead soldiers" and "Thank God for 9/11." Now, you seem to be saying that this is God's work, that this is God punishing America for being a sinful nation. But I find it highly ironic that an all-powerful God has to rely on men of a different religion and of a different God to do this. And you seem to preach this constantly, but guess what? Different religion, yeah, no. And then as another main theme that you've got is gays. And you say that all gays should be given the death penalty. So you want complete extinction of a group of people. Do you know who else wanted extinction of a group of people? Hitler. So, you claim not to be neo-Nazis, and you claim not to be Nazis or anything. However, you seem to certainly have the same sort of viewpoints as them on the complete destruction of a group of people, a complete extinction of them. So, yeah, I would pretty much call that Nazism. And then, while I'm mentioning Hitler and the Nazis, you seem to have a hatred for Jews on this constant Jews killed Jesus. Well, newsflash, it was a Jewish country. You're not going to find freaking Aborigines there. It is a Jewish country. So of course they're going to be involved. However, Jesus himself was a Jew. So stop being an arsehole about this, because Jesus was a Jew, it was a Jewish country, and you can't keep protesting this on it. I mean, especially for people who seem to have like quite a lot of Nazi viewpoints. It's like, you can't keep preaching all this crap, because Jesus was a Jew, it was a Jewish country, and guess what? It was the Romans that hammered in the nails, and that's it. Okay? You've no argument on that. It was the Romans that hammered in the nails, and that's it. And you hold up these banners that say, "Don't worship the dead," And I've got a point to make on this. It's not worshipping the dead. You're not viewing them as a deity. You are respecting the person, the life they led, and the life that they led. And it's not worshipping them because it's for the family and only the family. It's the family and the friends that are honouring the life that this person had. They're respecting what they've done and how much they love them. But that's it. It's not related to deities. It is related to, I like this person. I respected this person. That is it. And Westboro, they seem to be all over the place with some of their banners. Like, I'm going to quote a couple of them for them here, which is, fags eat poop, i.e. fags eat feces. So, where the fuck are you getting your research on this? Because that is just completely inaccurate. I have gay friends, and that is complete and utter bullshit. None have ever ordered, like, a fish and shit dinner. So don't talk crap. And then on top of that, it's like, they've got another one, again, aimed at Jewish people, and they've put together Jew fags. What the fuck? Are you just putting random words together now? That is no sense whatsoever. I'm not even going into detail on that one, because it's just complete and utter crap. And they seem to be on this whole thing of how, it's like, yes, they sin, but they try hard not, like, it's like they are not proud of their sins, whereas the rest of us supposedly are. Well, guess what? Leviticus 19:27 forbids shaving. You're not allowed to shave your beard. So, I don't see Fred Phelps running around with a beard, so looks like he's going to hell. Then, on top of that is, alright, and that was Old Testament. Let's have a look at New Testament. Matthew 10:5 to 10:15 gives instructions for Jesus' apostles, which is, if a house or a town do not accept the word of God, you are to, quote, shake the dust from your feet at them, which means a sign of rejection of them, and that is it. And it means that you don't go back there. You don't respect these people, you don't go back. Well, guess what? The majority of the world, and in fact all of America, all of Britain, all of Europe, just about everywhere in the world, knows who you are. And we all hate you. So, you shouldn't be protesting if we know what your message is and we don't accept it. You shouldn't be doing it anymore. And I was looking at some of the history on this. Apparently, Fred Phelps, when he was younger, argued in favour of removing discrimination against African Americans, like after slavery. However, and his excuse for doing this was the Bible does not state that being African American or being black is a crime. However, Matthew 10:24, slaves are not above their masters. Yeah. You guys are all over the place on this, and you can see it in all your documentaries. Whenever someone puts forward a valid fact, or just like a reasonable argument, it's like you try and hide from it. It's like you'll dance around the issue, how the Lord your God said this, and you'll completely stress off the issue. Well, guess what? The Lord your God, not mine, is talking absolute crap. And quite honestly, if this is the stuff that he's trying to preach to everyone, which it is, because I have read the Bible, it's like, it is all in here, but there is some good stuff in there. I'm not denouncing Christianity. But it's like, for all this sort of stuff, you run away from answers, and you have, like, the kids, like, little kids who are, like, 6 and 7, like, at these protests, and I was watching the Louis Theroux documentary. He asked him what one of the signs meant, and he couldn't answer it. The kid has no idea what it is. And you say that you are teaching them this way. Well, there's other ways of teaching. You are brainwashing the child into this is all it knows. It doesn't know anything else. So you are talking shit. And you just completely avoid answering questions all the time in every single one of your documentaries or your interviews. And as I've shown here, you're not perfect, and it clearly shows that you have no remorse for some of the stuff that you do. So, you know what? It's time to join the rest of us sinners down on earth, get off your little fucking podium, and actually start caring. I mean, even looking at, like, some of, like, the older kids of the family, it's like, you can see them, it's like, they try and purposely avoid questions, and they'll say in the interviews and documentaries how it's like, they're not going to answer certain questions, despite being perfectly sensible, reasonable, and like proper questions for the interview. They'll just say, I'm not going to talk about it, which immediately thinks there's a little bit doubt in their mind, and it's like there's doubt in their mind, they're tempted to avoid it, and they're starting to get the idea that something is wrong. So there's a little bit of reluctance from the kids, and with all that you are doing, I certainly do not blame them for starting to have second thoughts about what they're in. I mean, and for any Americans that watch this, if you hear that there is going to be a soldier being buried in your area, and if you catch wind that that Westboro Baptist Church are coming to protest it, and I know this has been done in quite a few towns, I advise you strongly to get out on the street and support the family, support the grieving family, show your respect for the soldier, and most importantly, show your respect for the country and keep these people away. And that's it. See you later, guys.